Imagine a world where the balance of gender is skewed, a place where one gender outnumbers the other significantly. Now ask yourself, does that place exist? Specifically, does India have more girls than boys? Now that's a loaded question. It brings us to the doorstep of the broader dialogue on gender balance and its implications. There may be some preconceived notions about gender ratios in India that we'll need to address. In the next few minutes, we'll dive into this complex issue and try to uncover the truth. Before we delve into India's gender ratio, let's get some context. What does the global gender ratio look like? Globally, the ratio of men to women is almost even. The United Nations estimated that in 2023, there were about 101 men for every 100 women. This slight overbalance of men is due to various factors, including higher risk-taking behavior, leading to higher mortality rates among men, and the prevalence of male-biased societies in certain parts of the world. However, the ratio can vary significantly from one region to another. In some areas, like Russia and Latvia, women significantly outnumber men. On the other hand, in places like China and the United Arab Emirates, men significantly outnumber women. These variances are influenced by a combination of factors such as culture, economic conditions, and government policies. Now that we understand the global context, let's dive into the specifics of India. The gender ratio in India is a topic of much debate and discussion. But what do the numbers really say? Diving straight into the statistics, India's gender ratio, as per the latest census, stands at around 940 females for every 1,000 males. This presents a picture of a male-dominated society, at least in terms of sheer numbers. However, it's essential to remember that these are just averages, and the actual gender ratio can vary greatly from one state or region to another. For instance, in the southern state of Kerala, the gender ratio is significantly better with 1,084 females for every 1,000 males, making it an outlier in the national scene. On the other hand, states like Haryana and Punjab exhibit a stark contrast with well below 900 females for every 1,000 males. These figures become even more intriguing when we look at the child-sex ratio, which is the number of girls per 1,000 boys in the age group 0 to 6 years. The child-sex ratio in India is a dismal 918 girls for every 1,000 boys, indicating a disturbing trend of gender bias at birth and possibly higher female infant mortality. If we delve deeper into the urban-rural divide, we find that the gender ratio is more skewed in urban areas as compared to rural ones. The gender ratio in rural India stands at 948 females for every 1,000 males, while in urban areas, it drops to 902. Clearly, there's a lot more to India's gender ratio than meets the eye. It's not just a simple case of more boys than girls. The numbers reveal a complex interplay of cultural, societal, and economic factors that influence this ratio. In essence, while it's easy to get caught up in the overarching narrative of a male-dominated society, a closer look at the numbers reveals a nuanced and multifaceted reality. As you can see, the numbers tell a complex story, but what factors contribute to this? Many factors influence India's gender ratio. Let's take a look at some of them. Firstly, cultural factors play a significant role. In India, a patriarchal society has been prevalent for centuries, where males are traditionally seen as breadwinners. This mindset, coupled with the dowry system, a practice where the bride's family gives gifts and money to the groom's family, has led to an unfortunate preference for male children. Next, societal factors also contribute. There's a concept known as son meta preference in India, where families continue to have children until a boy is born. This preference for sons, rooted in societal norms and expectations, can skew the gender ratio. Economic factors cannot be overlooked either. Poverty and limited resources often lead to discrimination against girls, primarily through neglect and inadequate access to education and healthcare. Furthermore, it's believed that sons will provide economic stability and security in old age, a perception that further fuels the preference for male children. Then we have the impact of technology. The advent of sex-selective technologies such as ultrasound scans has unfortunately facilitated female feticide, where a pregnancy is terminated after determining the fetus is female. This practice has significantly impacted India's gender ratio. Lastly, let's touch upon the role of government policies. The Indian government has implemented several initiatives to combat this gender disparity, like the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao campaign, which translates to Save the Daughter, Educate the Daughter. However, the effectiveness of these initiatives varies across different regions and communities. In conclusion, a myriad of factors, cultural, societal, economic, technological, and policy-related, influence India's gender ratio. These elements intertwined with each other, forming a complex web that affects the gender balance in this diverse country. These factors paint a complex picture of India's gender ratio, but what does this mean for India's future? A skewed gender ratio can have far-reaching implications. So what does this mean for India's future? In a society where the scales are tipped, it's not just about numbers. It's about the ripple effects that echo through generations. A higher number of males can lead to a shortage of potential marriage partners for men, which can, in turn, fuel human trafficking and increase violence against women. On the other hand, an excess of women might mean a larger workforce, but also a higher rate of single women, which brings its own set of societal challenges. But it's not all doom and gloom. India is making strides to address this issue. Government initiatives like the Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao campaign, which translates to Save the Daughter, Educate the Daughter, are making concerted efforts to change societal attitudes towards girls. Non-profit organizations are stepping in too, providing education and resources to empower girls and women. Moreover, technology and data can play a pivotal role in addressing this issue. Satellite imagery to track illegal sex determination clinics, predictive analytics to identify regions with skewed ratios, these are just some of the innovative approaches being explored. While the data may seem daunting, understanding the issue is the first step towards creating a more balanced future. And remember, behind every statistic is a story waiting to be told.